happy December, and we hope you're enjoying the holiday season so far. Welcome to Pop Stream, the official streaming channel from your friends at Pop Culture Classroom and Denver Pop Culture Con, where your community comes together to talk about your media because this is your Pop Stream. I'm your host, Matt Slater, and as always, you can find me at Matty Slay on Twitter and Twitch. And today we've got episode 3 of the Pop Stream. Oh, it is not the Pop Stream workout. See, this is what happens when I don't update my run of show. So we've got episode 3 of Pop Stream AV Club, the show where we talk all about film, TV, and video games. And for every episode of the Pop Stream AV Club, I'm joined by 2 terrific tastemakers. Did you like my alliteration there? I tried really hard for that. We've got Faith OJ Buobo.
Hi, everyone. How's it going?
We're here. We're here on the internet, so it's going all right. And we've got Sydney Haven.
Hi, I'm barely on the internet.
I mean, you're a little fuzzy here, but I know that what I see is different than what everybody else sees. So you made it, though. We got the internet issues fixed. And of course, for every episode of Pop Stream, we have Liz on the back end making everything happen. And this will be the last episode of the AV Club for 2020, which means it's time to put this year's media under the microscope. So today we are building the super duper official, but really lots of BS top 5 lists of the best films, TV, and video games to be released in 2020. And I can almost guarantee that this will not be civil. We will be having silly, goofy arguments. It's going to be a great time. We'll be duking it out with each other, along with you, the audience, to see what properties make these lists. So we will be taking suggestions directly from the audience. Make sure you're prepared to make your case for your favorites in the chat, because there can only be 5 top 5 video games, top 5 TV shows, and top 5 films from 2020. Hearts will be broken, tastes will be questioned, but in the end, the top 5 list will live forever in the Pop Stream time capsule for this trash fire of a year, the year of the devil, 2020. But before we dive into that, I always like to check in with you guys. What are you currently playing or watching right now? Sydney, we'll start with you.
My watch list is kind of garbage because I've been watching a lot of the same stuff that I always watch. But I am.
Well, that means it's not garbage, right?
Well, it's arguable. But I have been playing the new World of Warcraft expansion, Shadowlands. So that's been awesome.
I didn't know you were into WoW.
You know, I got into it this year when I was trapped in my house. And so I've been playing the new expansions. Alliance.
So what's like what's the new stuff in the new expansion?
It's kind of like afterlife sort of world. Shadowlands is like the afterlife of what happens after you die in the world of World of Warcraft. So it's very cool. There's all kinds of new stuff and some old stuff, or so I'm told, but you know, I'm what the kids call a noob when it comes to WoW. So
you're a noob.
So everything
I have never played World of Warcraft, so you're there you go. Nice. So. Faith, what are you watching or playing right now?
Well, I'm gonna have to bother you, Sydney, about World of Warcraft. Okay. I have questions because I also don't play it, so I'm gonna have to bother you. I've been watching. I'm still in my horror kick, so I've been watching a bunch of horror films still. I watched a lot of documentaries recently. So I did a bunch of queer documentaries. And then I've been playing Animal Crossing a lot still, because this is my jam. So I play Animal Crossing like all the time.
If you could recommend one of those documentaries that you're watching right now, which one would it be?
I think it's called Queering the Church. And so it was a discussion about schools that are generally like religiously based, and LGBT folks that have gone to those schools and how they've interacted with that school and that community. So that was really interesting.
Oh, that intersects with a lot of my different interests.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need to watch that one.
Yeah, that is absolutely up your alley. So I watched that. I also have a background in forensic psychology, so I watch a lot of stuff about cults. So I've been on a cult kick. So I've been watching a lot of those. Yeah, this is a lot of documentary, like interviews, things like that. So,
Liz, you're going to be an integral, I did not prepare you for this, but you're going to be an integral part of today's show. What are you watching or playing right now?
Watching, well, last night I was rewatching Rick and Morty, and then we started, I think, Solar Opposites, which is
okay. Yeah.
Playing Animal Crossing, best game ever, 2020, and Among Us, and
Nice.
Secret Hitler. You can play it online.
Okay. Yeah. I know Fate's a big fan of that one.
That's a good one.
I'm currently playing Demon Souls on my PlayStation 5. So the Demon Souls remake. This is only my second Souls game I've ever played. I played Bloodborne on the PS4 and made good progress, but never finished it. And man, it's just kicking my butt, but it's so good. Like the game gets harder the more you suck. So like the more you die, the harder the enemies get. But at the same time, the more like resources you can gather from these enemies. So the game definitely kicks you when you're down, but gives you the resources you need to like crawl yourself out of that hole. So the whole time I'm playing, I'm like, I'm not making any progress. I haven't made any progress for like 2 hours, but this is a life lesson, like comparing it to the difficulties of real life. But it's been a lot of fun. It's a gorgeous game. And then my husband and I just started Sackboy's Big Adventure, which is a little co-op platformer on the PS5. And it's been a lot of fun so far. I am interested to see if any of these things make our top lists for 2020. And we'll get into those shenanigans in just a moment. But first, what the heck is PopStream and how does it work? If you're new to the channel, a very special welcome to you, and we hope you enjoy this content as much as we enjoy making it. We're live with rotating shows every Thursday at 4 p.m. Mountain Time on PopStream's YouTube and Twitch channels, as well as the Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube pages for Pop Culture Classroom and Denver Pop Culture Con. And if you're watching live, you get to be a part of the show by chatting with us, as well as the rest of the community on any of those platforms. So today, especially, we will be taking your suggestions for our top 5 lists and arguing about them. So I need you ready. I need your chat fingers ready to be giving us those suggestions. But if you can't watch us live, we've still got you covered. You can catch this show and all of our other amazing PopStream content on demand on youtube.com/PopStream. Or if you prefer to listen to us on the go, or while you're prepping some delicious holiday food, or while you're working off that holiday food, you can find every show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and Google Podcasts. All you got to do is search for PopStream. And if you're watching or listening on demand, don't feel left out. You can still be a part of the best pop culture fan community on the internet by emailing us at popstream@popcultureclassroom.org. Give us your questions, your recommendations for future shows and guests, or give us your take on something that we're talking about here on the show. Just like at McLaughlin did on Twitch, he said, still not sold on the name Sackboy. It's from Little Big Planet. He's the cute little character. He's a burlap sack. He's Sackboy. But finally, no matter where you're watching or listening, do us a favor, give us a like, make sure you're subscribed, ring the bell for notifications, or give us a 5-star review. And if you really like us, you'll do that at youtube.com/PopStream and on as many podcast services as you can. We appreciate all the views, no matter where they come from, but that is definitely where they make the biggest difference. All right, guys, you ready to dive in? We're going to dig into our top 5 lists. So the way this is going to work, we're going to do film first because film is definitely the most difficult one for 2020. Not that many. I take that back. I did a search of like the top 50 films for 2020, and there were lots of them that I just had never heard of and did not recognize. So fake fan number 1 right here. But we'll do film. And then after that, we will do television and then video games. And we're going to do the top 5. And here's how it's going to work. It's going to be a little bit competitive. So first, there's going to be multiple steps here. And credit where it is due, I am adapting this format from an old show that the Kind of Funny podcast used to do. They haven't done it in quite a while. And this is not a copy of their format, but it is quite similar in many places. So Kind of Funny, thank you for having this idea first. And I am shamelessly lifting parts of it from you. But here's how we're going to build our best of list. So rules, we're not going to spoil anything. You will not hear any spoilers on this show. Other rules, it must have come out in 2020. All right. Must have been released at some point in 2020. And for television specifically, it has to have new content in 2020. So like a new season this year. And that's those rules. So here's how we're going to do it. Taking turns, the cast members. So myself and Faith and Sydney are going to recommend one item, and then we each get 60 seconds to give the pitch as to why that item needs to make it on this top 5 list. And then we need an impartial judge, and that's where Liz is going to come in. So I'm going to pitch something and say why I think it should be awesome or why I think it should be on the list. And then Liz will arbitrarily decide based on her own preferences, whether she's seen it or not, and based on our descriptions, where it should fall on that list. Okay. The next cast member will give their recommendation in their pitch, and then Liz again will choose where that goes on the list and so on. So we'll get 3 there. That is when the audience comes in next. So once we have our 3 recommendations, we're going to be polling the audience, things that we find on Twitter, things that we find here in the chat, to get your recommendations for those lists. And then we will decide where they go. Does it go above our recommendations, below our recommendations? We'll find out. And so then once we have 5 on the list, that's when round 3 comes into place, where we have the chance to make changes. Let's say what I wanted to get on the list has ended up at number 5, but I think it should be number 2. I can choose to advocate why it should go to number 2. Or maybe I look at that list and I say, there's something that's missing from this list that should really be on there. That's my choice to get that last push there. But it's up to Liz to decide where it goes. So one of our favorites might fall off the list. So it's going to be very competitive, very silly fun. I'm excited to see how it goes. So we're going to do film as a test run, and we'll do that one first. And so I'll go ahead and start. So I'm going to make a recommendation, and then I will get 60 seconds to justify that recommendation. And 2020 has been an interesting year when it comes to films. So I think my first recommendation is going to be for the film Onward, which came out earlier in 2020. So I'm going to set my timer here for 60 seconds. Should have had this ready to go. All right, here goes. Onward is just a really cute movie. And in a time when everything is going wrong around us, it made me smile throughout the whole thing. Is it Pixar's best work? No. But is it cute and fun to watch? Absolutely. You get kind of fantasy tropes thrown in all throughout. So you see friendly and funny minotaurs, and it's a really heartwarming story about 2 brothers trying to reconnect with their deceased father through magic and adventure. It is lighthearted. It's colorful. There are many laugh out loud moments. And if you have a brother in your life, or if you have a sister or those family members, it's really easy to identify with and really get into your feels. So the best pitch I can give for Onward right here is that you could watch it from your home at a time you couldn't go to the theaters. It's gonna make you smile. And it is the most wholesome entertainment that I have, the most wholesome movie I have seen in 2020. So that's my pitch for Onward. So now, Liz, you get to decide where on our top 5 list that should go. And this one's easy because the list is blank.
I saw Onward and I loved it. I think we were talking about Onward like in offices way before COVID. And,
I totally wasn't playing to your interests at all. Nope.
I don't know if we've talked about Onward. I think Pinky and I talked Onward, or someone else at the office, but it is up there. I think it's one of Pixar's best works.
Okay. All right. So right now you're putting it at?
I'm putting it at number 1.
Sweet.
Oh, yeah.
And it could move throughout this process, so we'll find out.
I really liked it.
Awesome. All right. So from here, we're going to go to Faith, and we'll make sure to switch up this order every time around. So Faith, you get to make your pitch for one movie that you think needs to be on this list. And while we're making our pitches, if you're watching right now, if you're listening, you get to make your pitch too. So go ahead and put your favorites that you think should be on the top 5 list. And then when it comes to audience interaction time, we'll be taking those and putting them on here. But Faith, for now, go ahead.
Okay. I want to say I made note cards. I did make note cards so I could have all my information. I wanted to be very prepared. So you like sweet, adorable, cute things? This is not that movie at all. This is Birds of Prey. Birds of Prey is like not at all in any way, shape, or form cute or sweet or fun. It's a bunch of ladies punching other people that really deserve to be punched. It is a bunch of fun. It's a bunch of action. It's a bunch of just strange events going on that probably aren't that probable, but are absolutely make sense happening to Harley Quinn. This is a DC movie. I am not a big fan of DC movies. Most people that know me know that I generally don't like them. I kind of almost hate them. And this is one of those that I want to watch again. If you have HBO Max, you can absolutely watch it right now. It is available for you to watch, along with a bunch of other DC stuff that
20 seconds.
Really good. I love that this film also is like super in the female gaze. So it looks very different and it's styled very differently. and it's just a bunch of fun with ladies punching bad guys. It's great.
And that's time.
That's it.
Nice.
All right. I did not see Birds of Prey, but I did really like your description of it. I think it's a good year to do some beating up, and I'm kind of pissed. So I want to put Birds of Prey up here.
That movie was terrible.
No. Badass.
All right. Well, the shenanigans have begun because that movie was. I'm glad you liked it, Faith. I hated it.
We're gonna fight. All right, we're gonna be fighting.
I was not a fan. All right, so Sydney, it is now your turn. And once you start describing, I will start my timer.
Okay. Well, first I want to say that I've been, as a self-proclaimed film nerd, I've been a huge disappointment to myself this year because I have not watched almost any movies. So I'm going to cheat a little bit and I'm going to fight for movies that I'm just really excited about. So
fair enough.
My movie that I really want to see is Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. And my pitch, I'm not going to need 60 seconds, Matt, because my pitch is 2 words, Chadwick Boseman. The end.
What if you, okay.
All right, that's a bold move. A 2-word description. Liz, what are you doing with that?
I'm going to get a nice picture. I don't know.
It's too fast.
We'll just
it's new. It's on Netflix. I think it just came out like this week or last week or something, but Chadwick Boseman's last film.
We're going to do a nice Black Bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Let's picture Chadwick on here. There we go. Honestly, I did not like your description. I have no idea.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Oh, man.
Fair enough.
But I really do like Chadwick. And I don't know. I think I like the way it looks right now. I like the way it looks. Kind of want to put it. I don't know. Move onward. This is what I got right now.
Okay, so right now we've got Birds of Prey at number 1, we've got Onward at number 2, and we've got Black Bottom at number 3. So now is the time where we get audience input in. I have not seen anything come through on the chat yet. I will double check all my channels, but if you have a favorite movie that came out in 2020 that we have not talked about yet, feel free to go ahead and put that and recommend it on our list. A. McReynolds says it looks good. Viola Davis too. So apparently that's one that we need to check out. All right, I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes to get those in here on the chat. And if not, that means we all just get to recommend more things. We'll see how that goes. Other movies that came out this year, because this was the one that I struggled with. I know ones that I saw, The Devil All the Time, Sonic the Hedgehog, Bill and Ted, Face the Music, Borat. I don't know. Did you guys see any others here in 2020?
No, I know Tenet came out this year, but I have not seen it. It did.
I'm super, super excited to finally be able to watch it when it comes out. I think it comes out on digital on December 15th.
I would absolutely recommend Da 5 Bloods. I don't know if anyone saw that. This one's the Spike Lee one that was out on Netflix. That one was very fun. Also got Chadwick Boseman. Great. It's real good. So that was a good one.
Okay, well, we haven't gotten any audience recommendations yet. So, should we put that one as your second recommendation, Faith?
We can. That one is big on my list for sure. That one's
All
like
right.
number 2.
I'm going to give you 60 seconds. Are you ready?
Sure. Let's do it.
And go.
So this is a film that is set during the Vietnam War. And also in like current day period, which is, I guess, closer to 2019 because COVID is definitely not a thing at that time. It is a discussion about brotherhood and trauma and discussions of how we see our heroes and what those heroes tell us and what they show us and the messages that they provide. It's a discussion of how trauma affects like both generations of people and communities. And is just a lovely film. Chadwick Boseman is amazing on it.
15 seconds.
I would absolutely recommend this one. It is definitely not for the faint of heart. It is a Spike Lee film. There is a lot of cursing, so be warned: cursing, violence, but amazing. Super, super wonderful.
All right, that's your minute. And if cursing and violence happen to be Liz's thing, that could benefit you here.
This could benefit me right now.
All right. We're gonna move Black Bottom down a little because I'm gonna put it. I kind of like this theme, but that we have going on with Birds of Prey. Like with the brotherhood. I think we're gonna put the Five Bloods at number 3. On number 2, we're gonna leave Birds of Prey number 1.
All right. Okay, Sydney, do you have a second one that you would like to pitch, or would you like me to go?
I'm gonna let you go.
Okay,
Because
I've got one ready.
Okay,
all right,
go.
I got one ready. You guys ready?
Yes.
I'm going to say Sonic the Hedgehog needs to be on this list. And here's why. Here is why, because it did not suck. And the fact that a video game movie simply did not suck means it should definitely be one of the top 5 releases of 2020. Not only that, but they listened to the fan feedback. They redesigned the character. We got Jim Carrey in one of his better roles in the last few years, I would argue. It wasn't groundbreaking by any means, but it was very entertaining. Sonic was cute. James Marsden, always fun to look at. He served his purpose. I can't say much more than that. But it was good enough that they are making the sequel, starting to film in 2021. And seeing that blue little dude run around made my heart warm because I didn't want to die during the movie because it wasn't a typical video game movie adaptation. So that's my pitch for Sonic the Hedgehog. Number 1.
Okay. I have not seen Sonic. I've seen a lot of YouTube videos. I gotta put Sonic at 1.
Yes!
I gotta put Sonic at 1.
Best movie of 2020.
Really redoing the character model for Sonic. Is that how you spell hedgehog?
Hedge?
Yeah.
Hog? Hedgehog?
Yeah. You got it.
Number 1, Birds of Prey. Let's just do some editing here. All right. Okay, so this is the final list that we have.
Unless we do have, so yeah, what is it right now, Liz?
Right now, it's not final.
Okay.
Right now, it's Sonic the Hedgehog, number 1, number 2, Onward, 3, Birds of Prey, 4, the Five Bloods, and 5 as Marvel's Black Bottom.
All right. So last round, we have 2 options, and we'll go through the 3 of us. Option number 1 is if you think something should be moved or rearranged on this list, you can briefly pitch that. Or if you look at this list and you say, man, there's something just missing from this list, you can advocate to add something else. And of course, if we add another film, that means something here is going to fall off the official top 5 list. So going in the same order as before, I am not going to waste my shot here. I think that this list looks good at it as is. So now we'll go over to Faith. What are you thinking?
I have some ideas, but I think I'm gonna hold off before I say too much. I am really upset about where Birds of Prey is, honestly.
This is your only chance to modify this list before it goes in the pop stream time capsule forever.
And honest, this is the thing that bothers me so much, right? I have not seen Onward. I assume it's very adorable. It's on my list. I am not super enthused about Sonic at all. So I'm a little bummed about where this is. I think Birds of Prey is very fun. I think it is worthy of being here. I understand that not everyone feels like that. I think a lot of people were really upset about this idea of well, it doesn't show that Harley's emancipated, but it does. And so, yeah, but I think it is where it is. And that's
that
where
movie had a whole name change. They took out the whole emancipation part of it.
But the thing is that they actually did, there is emancipation in there because emancipation isn't about, I'm just the best and I solve all my problems. It's saying I recognize that I can't always solve them and I need support. And she gets support with other people. So there is this discussion of emancipation. I know people get really mad about it. But it is what it is at this point. So I will accept that this is where we're at.
All right. You don't want to move it.
I would like to, but I don't think it's going to get moved. So
Liz, it's up to you.
That was a really good sound.
I'm accepting it.
All right. So how about, all right, I'm going to say we're going to put Birds of Prey at number 2.
Okay.
We need a good balance of like badass 2020 and then cute and adorable Sonic Blue Hedgehog creature.
It's true. It's true.
It's Jim Carrey. So let's do this.
Okay.
Me. You can it's the Birds of Prey.
Sydney, final words.
Okay. Can I talk about one that isn't out yet that I think we should add to the list? Okay.
That does follow the rules.
Okay. I would like to add, I'm gonna fight myself here because I think instead of the one that I said, going just on the theme that we have started, not because I think one is better than the other, but based on the theme, I would like to add the new Wonder Woman movie on here because here is my pitch. I think it's crazy important and crazy cool that it is a huge blockbuster. It's a comic book movie. It's directed by a woman, and it's directed by the same woman who directed the first one, who also was one of the first female directors to direct a superhero movie and a movie of that budget, which I think is amazing. So even though it's not out yet, I think it should go on the list.
I like that.
Only use 30 seconds. Brave again.
I'm concise.
We're going to take Rainey's Black Bottom off.
Okay.
Sorry, we're putting it over here. We're going to put Wonder Woman. We have to do number 1. Just number 1.
We're going number 1.
I will accept third place for Birds of Prey with Wonder Woman as first. I will accept that. That's fair.
I'm okay with this because this will be the first film on HBO Max streamed in 4K HDR, and it's about time they step up their streaming game to get on par with like Disney Plus and all those things. So I'm here for it. Christopher on YouTube is asking, can we live with Sonic the Hedgehog as movie of the year? So that problem is now fixed. We also had A. McReynolds on Twitch say he came across Guns Akimbo with Daniel Radcliffe on Amazon, 90 minutes of WTF, and I have not seen that one yet. Next time, get that recommendation in there quicker so we can make sure it gets on this list. But our list for film is final. What's that list, Liz?
We have number 1, Wonder Woman. Number 2, Sonic the Hedgehog. Number 3, Birds of Prey. Number 4, Onward. And number 5, The Five Bloods.
All right, and there it is, the top 5 films of 2020. I love this list. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to TV. All right, this one should be hopefully a little bit easier. A lot of TV came out in 2020. So again, if you're in the chat, now is the time to be telling us your top TV of 2020. And as long as it released this year, even if it wasn't the first season, it's totally fine, okay? So this time, we're going to start with Faith, and then we'll go to Sydney, and then we'll go to myself. So Faith, whenever you're ready, let us know what you think should be on the top 5 TV of 2020 list.
Okay, let's do it. I have my note cards again. I have my handy dandy note cards.
Let's go.
All right. So the film or the TV that I want on this list very, very desperately is Lovecraft Country. Lovecraft Country was fun. It was spooky. It was heartfelt. You're laughing and crying and scared all at the same time in certain episodes. And amazing cast, super amazing thoughts and ideas. And also the power of using some of the most racist literature to talk about Black communities and struggles, and it works so well. It's just amazing and super groundbreaking. I love that it's just a very interesting discussion. It's scary. I've talked about the idea that the monsters aren't really the bad guys. It's everything else. It's the society. It's all of these other people. It's the interpersonal things. And so that's why it's there.
Time. Nice. I'm a fan. I'm okay with that. I'm sure we'll move some things around, but I definitely am here for having that on our list. All right, Sydney, what you got?
All right. Once again, I'm going to talk about something that's not out yet, but it's
The wild
because,
card for this show.
right. Right. I've seen the rest of it, and then the new season is coming out this year. So.
Okay.
The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. Season 4. It's the final season. It's coming out on December 31st. So it counts because it's still 2020.
It does count.
I love this show, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. It is amazing. It's like everything of my aesthetic that I love in my media that I consume. It's spooky, it's campy, it's gothic, it's hilarious, it's sad, it's got everything. And it's got Sabrina Spellman. She's incredible. It's not the same show, the Sabrina the Teenage Witch. It's not what you remember from back in the day. But it's amazing. And
no Melissa Joan Hart here.
No. But one of my favorite things about it that still stands out to me, like to this day, is that there is a character on the show who in season 1, her name was, okay, well, never mind. We'll skip because that's going to take longer than 5 seconds. It's a good show. The end.
All right. Okay.
So we are going to be putting the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina at number 2 right now.
Okay.
I do like the aesthetic of this photo. I've seen a couple of episodes.
I'm going to tell you right now, my goal currently is to knock that off the list because I do not like that show.
No,
I've seen a few episodes, and to be fair, I did not like start at the beginning and, work my way through. I saw some random episodes here and there when my husband was watching, but I'm not a fan. All right. So here we go. My pick, I'm starting my timer here. My pick is going to be for Sex Education on Netflix. Season 2 came out in 2020, and this show, you hear the premise all the time, and I heard the premise, and I was like, oh, it sounds fine, but the show goes so much deeper than the premise, which is kid in high school, his mom is a sex therapist. He takes all the things he's learned just by being around the house, right, and starts doing sex therapy for the high school kids at his school. So the students are coming up, they're lining up, they're asking him questions about sex, shenanigans ensue. But really what this show does is it is so respectful to teens. One of my favorite things is when shows are not caricaturizing teens, right? When they actually treat the teen experience with respect. And they do that here. They weave in all the questions that teens are asking about sex, but you really get to know these characters and their personal relationships. And it is one of the most heartfelt shows. Watching these relationships evolve is the highlight of the show. And there's really great music in it too. If you want to hear an acapella of I Touch Myself, this is what you want to hear. And that's my minute. So Sex Education, season 2.
All right. Okay, cool. We are going to be moving Sabrina down.
No.
Sex Education at number 2.
Yes. Sex.
Sex.
All right. Okay, so that's our 3. So right now we're at Lovecraft Country number 1, Sex Education number 2, and 3 is The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina the Teenage Witch. So now we do have quite a few recommendations from the chat. I'm going to read them off, and then us as a group are going to decide which ones make this list and where they go currently, okay? So we have heard The Mandalorian, The Queen's Gambit, Harley Quinn.
Is that a show?
Yes.
The animated Harley Quinn show.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
So of those 3, I think Harley Quinn should definitely be on there because that show rocks my world. It's super, super funny. What do you guys think?
I want Mandalorian on here real bad too.
Okay. Sydney, thoughts?
I haven't seen any of those, but
you guys, come on.
Just to be contrary, I'm going to vote for the Queen's Gambit.
Dude, so good.
Okay. So of these 3,
had to.
How do we? Okay, Liz breaks ties here. I say the animated Harley Quinn has got to be on here because it is so funny, and season 2 just like ramps it up. You get to see the love story between certain characters evolve. But it's like it is offensive and it is raucous and action-packed. They do like offensive comedy right. So I really think that should be there.
We have Birds of Prey.
Totally different. And that's on the TV list.
Okay. Well,
I don't know. I need someone to argue against me.
I really like this one too. Like I'm struggling.
Okay.
This one is a good. I really enjoy this one. I haven't seen the most recent season, so that makes it difficult for me to like weigh in. But I watched almost all of the first season, and I thought it was very fun. It is wild and raucous for sure. And I enjoy the relationships and sort of the changes that are going on there. So I don't want to say anything bad about it because it's a great one for sure.
So between that and The Mandalorian, which one would you?
I really like The Mandalorian. This is what I'll have to fight for The Mandalorian for sure at some point. So.
Okay, I will be contrary as well and agree with the Queen's Gambit in the sense that is a season 1, so that's kind of something new for this year. And we do have people in the chat advocating for that versus Harley Quinn and Mandalorian are both in season 2 right now.
That's fair.
So, Liz, you're breaking ties here.
The Queen's Gambit.
Okay, all
I
right.
was gonna say I can say about the Queen's Gambit, even though I haven't seen it. Like, when was the last time that there was some piece of pop culture that was so like in the zeitgeist about chess?
It's true.
Like,
yeah,
that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, what is our current top 5, Liz?
All right. Right now we have Lovecraft Country, Sex Education, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, but I'm just gonna have to start putting everything down. The Queen's Gambit as number 1.
Okay. All
Not
right. Queen's
biased,
Gambit
I'm
number
biased.
1. And then we still have that other spot to fill with either Harley Quinn or Mandalorian.
All right, Kat, are we doing The Mandalorian or Harley Quinn? How do we get towards the Harley Quinn on this list? I know it's a film, but it's person.
You're in charge here.
Do I need to do my 60-second elevator pitch for The Mandalorian? Is that what I need to do? Because it's one of my cards.
You'll have that opportunity next. Let's get these audio. Yeah. So if you want to if it's not on there, you can put it there or anything like that.
All right, let's do Harley Quinn.
Okay. All right. So that is the current setup. So now, final round. Again, we can advocate to change the position of something on the list, or if there is a egregious omission from this list, now is the time to get it on there at the risk that something else gets bumped off. So same order. Faith, you start.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go Mandalorian. I'm gonna have to fight for Mandalorian. I'm really sorry, everyone, but I'm gonna have to do it.
6 seconds.
Let's go. So for anybody who doesn't know, The Mandalorian is essentially a fun space adventure. If you have ever liked Firefly or Serenity, you will absolutely love The Mandalorian. It is the same sort of idea of space cowboys going around, having adventures, fun things. There's an adorable baby Yoda. He is adorable and beautiful and just like the cutest little baby ever. I love the only reason why it's second on my list compared to Lovecraft Country is that it's because the episodes have such a consistent theme of like, go to a planet, something happens on the planet, must get fixed, go to new planet. But hey, if that's your thing and it works,
20 seconds.
And it works well, that's what you have to do. I will also say I've been in such a creative rut, and this has made me want to write again. This specific thing has given me the creativity to want to write and want to be creative again. So that's why it's so important.
And that's time. That was a good argument.
Wow. We're just gonna have to move some things around.
I'm sorry, everyone. I had to.
The Mandalorian at number 3. I think that's amazing.
Okay.
Creativity.
Right. That's compelling. All right, Sydney. Last chance to alter this list.
I'm gonna keep fighting for The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. I am because it's about. I mean, in addition to like being my aesthetic, which makes me a little bit biased, it's a good show, and it's about girl power, and it's about, even though there's things that are expected of you and you might have to do those things anyway, but doing them your own way and like not letting anybody tell you that you can't do something. doing things just to be contrary, just because you want to prove that you're capable of doing it, doing things that nobody ever thought possible, and just like doing it with a smile on your face, because that's what Sabrina does. She kicks butt and she's awesome.
20 seconds.
She does everything. Like anything she wants, she does, even if it's not something that people think she should be doing. She's like, I don't care, I want to do it. And she does. And I think that's amazing.
Sydney, I really like your argument. It's great, but it's not it.
Liz.
I like this list. I like the way it looks right now.
Oh, Liz.
I mean,
All
like,
right.
it's like 5.5, 6.
All right. So I have
shame.
my final opportunity to shape this list. And here we go.
Okay.
I'm going to advocate for something else to be on this list. I think it is a travesty if What We Do in the Shadows does not make it on this top TV list, because that is one of the funniest shows to come out in the last couple of years. If you've seen the Taika Waititi film, they take all the spirit of that movie, all of the just deadpan comedy, and put it into the show. You've got humans that are trying to kill the vampires. You've got interpersonal relationships and just some of the best comedic dialogue I have heard in a long time. My husband and I quote this show constantly because every time we say a line from it, it will make us giggle. And anything that can do that easily, I think has to be on this top 5 list. This is vampire comedy done right. This is vampire comedy done correctly in 2020. And I cannot imagine a better show doing the vampires in the real world better. And they introduced the energy vampires, which is just a thing that we all need to be aware of out here in the real world. So there it is, What We Do in the Shadows.
Wow. It's going to be number 5. It's got to be number 5.
Okay.
And don't we have a
All
class
right.
after that? 2000.
Yeah. The What We Drink in the Shadows.
We drink in the shadows.
That was that beer for Reno. All right. So what is our final list for the top TV shows of 2020?
We have number 1, The Queen's Gambit, which I do agree with. I think that was very, 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 very good show. We have number 1, Queen's Gambit. Number 2, Lovecraft Country. Number 3, The Mandalorian. Number 4, Harley Quinn. And 5, What We Do in the Shadows. So.
That sounds correct.
Really
I'm really glad that you make the correct decisions, Liz, about what shows should and should not be on this list. Much appreciated.
Wow, Matt's really kissing up right now. Is this because he's trying to get prepped for the video games? I think
she's doing the work of the people. I'm just making sure that good work is acknowledged.
Right.
And we kicked Sabrina off. I mean, like, come on, like, what
Lame.
else do we have to do?
Speaking of acknowledging and supporting good work, I want to tell you guys about something that Pop Culture Classroom is doing right now. So I cannot wait to tell you guys about our new fundraiser that we've got going on. It's called Pop Run. You can add a little bit of spice to your holiday season. Keep warm with Pop Run, which is our virtual 5K benefiting literacy and pop culture-based education. We may not be able to gather together this year, but we can still run for a good cause with Pop Run 2020. This entirely virtual fun run can be done whenever, wherever, and however you want. You can run, skip, walk, or just visualize your way through 5 kilometers or 3.1 miles to support literacy, celebrate our pop culture community, and get some really cool new merch. You can even use this as an opportunity to go catch some Pokemon in Pokemon Go, or hatch those eggs, or walk to your local Little Free Library box, which is what I did a couple weeks ago. I donated a copy of Cardboard Kingdom to that little library, and you can find where those are on their website, littlefreelibrary.org. Then, if you want to show off a bit, you can upload a photo of you after your run or while you're catching Pokemon or skipping through the park or whatever using hashtag PopRun20, and make sure to tag Pop Culture Classroom. Right now, through December 14th, you can sign up at popcultureclassroom.org/poprun. Registration packages start at $27 with options to add more of that super sweet merch like stickers, socks, gaiters, and beanies. And I am not lying when I say I cannot wait to get my hands on those gaiters. They look amazing. All proceeds from this run will support our nonprofit mission to inspire a love of learning and increase literacy throughout the Denver community through interactive programming and workshops, as well as create classroom resources for educators everywhere. And if you would like to learn more about those resources, such as our graphic novel teaching guides, colorful history comics, and curricular units, you can find more by going to popcultureclassroom.org. And again, to sign up for Pop Run, you'll visit popcultureclassroom.org/poprun. I cannot wait to see your photos on social media. All right, guys, here we go. We got video games, one category left. And I'm really excited about this one. But for this one, we're going Sydney, myself, and then Faith. So Sydney, you get the first at bat here. What are you saying goes on this top 5 list?
All right. I had a real struggle trying to pick what one I was going to talk about first, but I have to go with The Last of Us Part 2. I do. I loved the first game so much, and there was so much hype for the second game. And I know that a lot of people think that it didn't live up to the hype and they were very disappointed. But I look at it from a storytelling perspective, which is something that Naughty Dog does amazingly well, is storytelling. It's fantastic. And we got 2 very badass women characters. None of this, well, she has to be likable nonsense that we always hear about female characters, because you can argue that neither one of them are very likable at the end. You know, it's no spoilers, but they both go through such an arc. It flips the revenge story on its head. It twists that trope in so many ways, and it makes you make so many decisions that are just heart-wrenching. And by the end, and also it's very satisfying to kill zombies during a pandemic. So Last of Us Part 2.
And that's time.
That might not, I mean, I think that's going to stay number 1.
It should.
It's so good. And this is why I like this game, because you put something that I would like to see on the top 5. And so now I get to say something else. But yeah, that has to be on the list. It absolutely has to be. And this is narrative in a video game at its pinnacle, like interactive storytelling at its absolute finest. And so I absolutely agree with you. At McLaughlin on Twitch says #Team Abby. Because there were some tough things at the end of that game.
I feel like I agree. It hurts me, but I feel like I agree.
All right. Okay. I am going to go next. And so I am going to advocate for, let me get my timer going, Doom Eternal. Doom Eternal, if you want to feel like a certified badass, this is the game to make you do it. It is fast, just 60 frames per second, just blowing through all these things. It's beautiful to look at. You're going through all these different varieties of landscapes. But the thing about Doom Eternal is it's like a puzzle action game. So when you kill certain enemies, you get ammo. When you kill enemies when you kill them with one weapon, you get ammo. If you kill them with a different weapon, you get armor. If you kill them with a different weapon, you get health. And so you're constantly evaluating on the fly, like, okay, how do I kill? What weapon should I use here? What do I need here? So it's like resource management with a fast-paced first-person shooter. Not to mention the soundtrack slaps, like just hardcore metal, just going the whole time. And it is so much fun to play, to listen to look at. I happen to like stopping and reading all the lore. So as you go shoot things, you can read little lore bits to take a break from the action. I happen to like that. But that is my pitch for Doom Eternal.
It's a great pitch.
Nice.
The soundtrack is chef's kiss.
Yeah, still good.
It's going to have to be number 2, though.
Okay.
The pitch that we had for The Last of Us, it's just what 2020 needs to be. And be remembered by.
All right. Okay, Faith, you're up.
Okay. I have my note cards again. This is I came prepared. So the one that I would like to talk about is
I'm sorry, Faith. Real quick before you start, chat. Don't forget to put yours in the chat as well. I see a few of you doing that. Make sure you put your games in there as well. All right, Faith, when you're ready.
Are you ready? All right. The video game I want to talk about is Animal Crossing. It's Animal Crossing. And this is the game that like sold out every Nintendo Switch you could find, made it impossible to get this game, was impossible to get anything. This put like Nintendo Switch in the zeitgeist for everyone. This is a game that has just a simple thing. You get to be a person and you build your island and you have little like animal friends. It's really that simple. It's beautiful. It's like I enjoy the shooting zombies as much as everyone else, but sometimes you just need to sit like next to some water and just listen to the waves and just feel comfy. It's cute. It's fun. You have
15 seconds.
a billion animals to choose from. And they are actually listening to us as the audience. They've brought in new storage, natural hair, just all of these fun things, queer representation. It's beautiful.
And that's time. I know Liz is a big fan of Animal Crossing.
Am I supposed to be unbiased, or
as much as you can, as much as you want to be,
or as much as I want to be, or just going off of everyone's elevator pitches? Because wow, I really love Animal Crossing. I just love it so much.
Animal Crossing was the one that I was conflicted with. I was like, Last of Us or Animal Crossing? I don't know.
Oh,
not my I can appreciate it, not my thing.
that's such a shame. It's more for us.
That's fine. All right, where's Animal Crossing go? Oh, you put it at number 1.
Number one.
Ooh.
It is. We can't go outside. We can wear masks in the game. I have a mask on in the game, and it's kind of like living life during COVID. It's happy. It's you can hang out at home, pajamas, with a nice warm blanket, just like look around the museum. I can't go to the museum right now. I can just go to Animal Crossing. It's free.
I mean, I could go on rants about going to the museum in Last of Us, which was a cool experience too. But right now, we have Animal Crossing at number 1, The Last of Us Part 2 at number 2, and Doom Eternal at number 3. So we've got a couple of suggestions from the audience. So we have Spider-Man Miles Morales. We have Bug Snacks. We have Ghost of Tsushima. And those are the 3 recommendations that we have here from the audience. Anything resonating with you guys? I'll tell you right now, Bug Snacks resonates with me. Do you guys know about Bug Snacks?
Yes, I know
Is
about
it a
bug
or is it a snack? Right? And so Bug Snacks is like this super chill game about you're going and exploring this island full of these little critters that are actually snacks. So you have like a cheeseburger, but it's called a bunger. And so when you run around, it goes bunger, 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 and like makes Pokemon like noises when you catch them. And you've got like shish kebabs, or I forget what they call them, but all these different, like a flying pizza thing, and you have to catch them all while you're solving problems between interpersonal relationships on this island. There's very good LGBTQ representation, and as these characters eat the Bug Snacks, they turn into that. So if someone eats a pineapple thing, their head turns into a pineapple. Or if you feed them a frieder, which is a spider made out of French fries, one of their limbs turns into that. So of those, that's the one that I would make sure gets on this list. What about you guys?
Sounds horrifying.
Shish kebab, that's right.
This is.
So we also had Miles Morales and Ghost of Tsushima and Final Fantasy VII Remake.
We got Bob. He's an exhibitor at PictureCon. Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yeah. I mean, that was a good one. That was a real good one.
Solid one. But the pineapple head.
Bug Snacks is so wholesome. No, it's on PlayStation and Steam.
Oh, that's garbage. Oh, Steam. Master Got it.
I get to be the person who's like the bad person of this. I didn't play a lot of 2020 video games. I played a lot of like older stuff this year. And I also got really disenchanted with some of the video games I played this year. So I really don't have a lot on this list. And I got really excited about certain things, and they all came out in like 2019, like late 2019. I was so mad. So because I would talk about Untitled Goose Game forever, but it's 2019. So
it is a 2019 game, yeah.
So I just
not out yet.
Yeah, so I get to be quiet during this one because the one thing I really wanted is on my list. I'm good on this list. I'm good. So,
all right, Sydney, of those audience recommendations, anything that you can back there? Miles Morales, Bug Snacks, Ghost of Tsushima, Final Fantasy VII Remake.
I did not play any of those, but I've heard good things about them. Bug Snacks sounds horrifying to me. I don't know if I can endorse that. Cute. I don't know. There's just something about turning into eating a bug and then turning into it. Like, even though if it's in snack, I don't know.
It's so cute.
It doesn't jive. Why would you eat it if it's cute? Like, I don't understand. And it's like a
So I'm going to say that has
like a sentient thing. Like, that's so weird to me that you would just eat it.
I think it's got to be there because it was one of the most
board.
surprising games of 2020.
I can't get on board.
Like, I did not expect to like it, and I loved it.
I'm going to endorse.
So, and then
of those audience picks,
go ahead, Sydney.
I'll endorse Spider-Man Miles Morales, because I know a lot of people who just loved
it. Was a great one.
Everything about that game. So even though I didn't play it, I've heard really good things about it. So I'm going to endorse that one for audience picks.
In my humble opinion, better than the original Spider-Man game. It was a tighter experience for sure. Yeah.
I will endorse this one also. From what I have heard of it, is really cool. I love the Miles knows ASL. Like, I think that's super rad. Mm-hmm. So I love all of the fun, like, little things that they've added in to make sure that everyone feels included. So
nice. So we do have to wrap up here soon. So I'd say that to end round 2 here, let's get Bugsnax and Miles Morales on there. Okay. And then we'll go into round 3 where we have our final chance to shape this list. All right. So we'll go in the same order. Faith, again, you can advocate to change something's position or put something else on this list that is not there.
I love this list right now. I have nothing wrong with it.
Okay. All right. So, she passes the baton. Sydney, what do you think?
Okay. You guys are expecting this, I'm sure. I am also going to talk about Phasmophobia because I love that game, and the fact that it's so huge and so amazing and it's still in early access is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And the dev has been talking about, like, he had all these ideas, but after seeing people's response and seeing the things that people love about it, he's put some of his ideas on the back burner and he's focusing on just enhancing the experiences that people love so much about it. But I love it because it's a way to be a ghost hunter without having to trespass in abandoned buildings. And there's actual ghosts in it. It's very spooky. There's even just when you think you've got the game figured out and just when you think it's not going to scare you anymore, it does. And I can speak from experience on that because I was like, this is great. I'm not even scared anymore. And then a ghost scared the bejesus out of me. Like, absolutely
15
insane.
seconds.
So I'm going to advocate, and it's a co-op game. It's up to 4 players, so you can join in with other people. You can get your friends involved. It's got a really cool in-game voice chat feature. I love that game, and I'm really excited to see where it goes in future versions.
All right. Okay. Is it making it?
Love Phasmophobia. My friends make fun of me for how much I love that. So it looks like that's
booting Bugsnax off the list.
It is booting Bugsnax. We have Animal Crossing. It's cute, adorable.
Okay.
And you don't have to eat your friends in Animal Crossing.
All right. So I've got one final opportunity to shape this list, and I'm just going to shake it up and throw one more title out there, because if I didn't talk about it, I'd be mad at myself. And that title is on Switch, it is on Steam, and that title is Hades from Supergiant Games. Hades is a roguelike action game where you play the son of Hades trying to escape hell. And it takes forever to get out. You have to do multiple runs to get out. And so it is a roguelike. So you are constantly leveling up your character, getting better abilities, getting better weapons. Every run you go on, your loadout is going to change. And so you get to experiment with different weapons, and the combat is tight. Everything that you want to make happen happens. In some games you're like, oh, but I meant to attack this enemy. That doesn't happen in this game. When you want to attack a specific enemy, it goes there. It knows what you're looking for. And somehow in a roguelike, they weave this really endearing story through it. So contextually, based on how many times you've tried to escape hell, you are meeting new characters, you're making relationships with them, you're giving them booze to, make them like you. And there's a really endearing family-based story about all these Greek gods and goddesses. So I got tons of hours out of Hades, probably about 30 hours, and it was one of my favorites of 2020. So Hades, there's the pitch.
I made a special acknowledgement because it is a very popular game. I have a lot of friends that play it. Watched a lot of playthroughs, and I kind of keep it on right on the bottom. 5.5.
Okay. All right. So what is the final top 5 2020 video game list, Liz?
Number 1, Animal Crossing. Maybe Pokemon Snap coming in late December. Number 2, The Last of Us Part 2. And number 3, Spider-Man Miles Morales. Number 4, Doom Eternal. And number 5, Phasmophobia. And 5.5, Hades.
For Hades. Awesome. I don't know how I feel about Animal Crossing being on top of The Last of Us, but
I'm okay with it.
I know you guys are. So here it is. This is a democratically made list with whatever shenanigans we had going into it. So here you have it. Top 5 films. I can't even read what that says. Let's go through that list one more time, Liz. Yeah, please, because it's so fuzzy on my end. I'm like, what on earth?
2020 top 5 films.
Officially.
We have Wonder Woman coming up this December. Sonic the Hedgehog coming in at number 2. Number 3, Birds of Prey. Number 4, Onward. And number 5, Defy Woods.
Some film fanatic is out there being like, what the hell are you guys doing? All right, top 5 TV shows.
Top 5 TV shows. We have these are all my favorite. I love one. Queen's Gambit. Number 2, Lovecraft Country. Number 3, we have The Mandalorian. Number 4, the animated series of Harley Quinn. And number 5, What We Do in the Shadows.
Excellent. And then finally, the top 5 games.
The top 5 video games of 2020, we have Animal Crossing, coming in at number 1. Number 2, The Last of Us Part 2. Number 3, Spider-Man Miles Morales. Number 4, Doom Eternal. And 5, Phasmophobia. And a special Valeria at 5.5.
And there you have it. 2020 is closed. We can officially wrap it up and get moving on to the next year with some hopes and prayers that it might be a little bit better. This has been our final episode of the PopStream AV Club for season 1. The whole PopStream family will be getting together next week for our season finale. So that means we're going to have this cast right here. We're going to have the cast of the comic show with Tara and Dion, and then also Tajan from the DPCC flashback and workshop shows. We're all going to be getting together, having a good time. We're going to be playing some Jackbox games that you guys can play along with us out there. We're going to be sharing some of our favorite moments and getting some of these things right. The comics cast will have a chance to audit these lists that we created today. So it's going to be a really good time. And we hope that you guys can join us for this celebration of PopStream season 1. Don't forget, though, if you've got ideas for future guests and episodes in season 2, photos of your attempts at replicating any of the workshop ideas that we had throughout the season, you can email us, popstream@popcultureclassroom.org. You can tweet right at me, at Maddie Slay, or you can tweet at DenPopCon for Denver Pop Culture Con, or at Pop Classroom for Pop Culture Classroom. And if you enjoyed this content and you like what Pop Culture Classroom does, give us a like, subscribe to us on YouTube and podcast channels, and make sure to ring the bell to know whenever a new stream goes live and is available on demand. And of course, share this with your friends, please, so that we can build the best pop culture fan community on the internet. And if you think our mission is cool, make sure you sign up for Pop Run. Or if you don't want any of that super rad merch, you can always find our donation link at popcultureclassroom.org. Faith and Sydney, this has been a blast. Thank you for bantering with me. Thank you, Liz, for making it all happen, making these amazing lists and being our tiebreaker. To all of you guys watching and listening out there, stay safe, stay healthy, stay at home as much as you can right now, and go love each other. Take care of yourselves.